The galaxy believed Earth was weak. For years, alien empires insulted humans, pushed them aside, and treated them like a small, useless species. But today, everything changed. As the sun set over Earth's Space Command Station, alarms suddenly exploded across every screen. Commander Ryland stood frozen for a second, watching red warnings flash again and again. An unknown fleet had appeared near the outer colonies. Fast, silent, and enormous. "They are not here to talk," Ryland said quietly. In deep space, the alien armada moved like a dark wave. Dozens of massive warships, shaped like blades and shadows, charged forward. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy. They had chosen Earth's weakest sector, believing humans could not defend it. But they were wrong. From behind a moon-sized station, a giant white warship slowly emerged. No alien had ever seen it before. No one in the galaxy even knew humans had built something this powerful. Its engines burned with bright orange fire, pushing the enormous ship into open space. Smaller human fighters formed a protective swarm around it. The aliens hesitated. "What is that?" their commander whispered. Earth called it the Solaris Dreadnought, a ship built in complete secrecy. It was humanity's last hope and its greatest weapon. Commander Ryland activated the comms. "Solaris, this is Earth Command. The enemy is approaching. Do not wait. Show them what humanity really is." Inside the warship, Captain Mira exhaled slowly. Her crew looked nervous but ready. For years they trained in silence. For years they waited for this moment. "Target their lead ship," Mira ordered. "Let the galaxy see us." The Solaris engines roared. Light burst across its hull. And in that moment, the galaxy's biggest secret finally woke up. The alien fleet advanced with confidence. They believed humans were desperate, unprepared, and weak. But when the Solaris Dreadnought powered up its main cannons, the enemy formation began to break. Small tremors of fear moved through their ranks. Inside the alien flagship, Commander Vor stared at the human warship on his screen. "This vessel was not in any records," he growled. "Humans were never supposed to build something like this." But humans had built it, quietly, secretly, and with a single purpose. Captain Mira stood at the center of the Solaris bridge, her hand steady on the command console. Her crew watched her, waiting for the order that would begin humanity's real fight. "Fire the pulse lance," she said. A deep vibration shook the entire ship, followed by a blinding white beam that burst from the Solaris's forward cannons. The beam tore through space, ripping through the alien lead ship as if it were paper. In seconds, the massive vessel broke apart, exploding into bright fragments that scattered across the battlefield. Silence fell. The alien fleet froze, unable to process what had happened. No human weapon had ever destroyed one of their capital ships in a single shot. This was impossible. This was terrifying. Commander Vor slammed his claws on the control panel. "All ships, attack, now!" Overwhelm them. Alien fighters swarmed forward like a storm, firing thousands of plasma bolts toward a human dreadnought. But the Solaris activated its energy shields, glowing layers of light that absorbed the attack. On Earth, Commander Ryland watched the battle feed. His heart pounded. "They're scared," he whispered. "Good. Let them be." Back on the Solaris, Captain Mira raised her hand again. "Prepare the second strike." Her voice was calm, too calm, because she knew the battle had only just begun. The alien fleet pushed forward with rage. Plasma bolts, missiles, and energy beams struck the Solaris from every angle. The shields flickered but held firm. Inside the dreadnought, the crew felt the vibrations, but none of them backed away from their stations. Captain Mira watched the enemy formation tightening around them like a trap. "They want to crush us from all sides," her tactical officer said. Mira nodded. "Good. Then they're all in range." The bridge lights dimmed as the Solaris activated a hidden system, one so powerful, Earth Command hoped they would never need to use it. The core of the ship began to glow with a deep golden light, spreading through the walls like liquid fire. On Earth, Commander Ryland recognized the signature immediately. His eyes widened. "No! They're activating the Helios core," he whispered. "That weapon is still experimental. It could destroy them, but it could destroy us too." The alien saw the glow too, but they misunderstood it. Human ship is overheating, Commander Vorth shouted. Press the attack. But the Solaris wasn't overheating. It was awakening. Captain Mira placed her hand on the final switch. All units, brace for Helios discharge. Her voice carried no fear, only resolve. In the engine bay, engineers held onto railings as the core hummed louder and louder, filling the ship with shaking energy. The dreadnought's hull brightened, becoming almost blinding. Outside, alien ships pulled in closer for the kill. And then, a silent explosion of golden light erupted outward from the Solaris, expanding in a perfect sphere. No heat, no flame, just pure, crushing energy. Alien ships caught in the sphere's path shattered instantly, breaking apart into glowing fragments. Others spun out of control, systems fried. The battlefield changed in seconds, but the pulse didn't stop expanding, and that was the real danger. The golden pulse kept expanding, rippling across the battlefield like a silent storm. The Solaris crew watched the readings with growing fear. They knew the Helios core was powerful, but this was beyond anything they had tested. Captain, the pulse is not stabilizing, the chief engineer shouted. If it keeps expanding, it will hit our own colonies. Captain Myra's jaw tightened. Shut it down. We can't, he yelled back. The core is in full release mode. Outside, the sphere of golden light continued to grow. Alien ships far from the Solaris began to panic, breaking formation and fleeing in every direction. Their commanders screamed orders, but nothing worked. The energy wave crushed anything it touched. Commander Vorth stared at the spreading sphere in horror. What have the humans built? His voice trembled. This is not a weapon. This is a star. Earth Command watched the same nightmare unfold on their screens. Commander Ryland slammed his fist on the table. At this rate, the entire sector will be wiped out. We have to do something. But no one on Earth had access to the Helios core. Only one person could stop it now, Captain Mira. Inside the Solaris, the lights flickered. The ship groaned under the stress. Systems shut down one by one, unable to handle the power surge. We're losing engines. We're losing shields. We're losing everything. Mira took a deep breath. Divert all remaining energy to the core containment rings. Her officers looked at her in shock. Captain, if the rings overload. I know, she said quietly. Do it. The crew obeyed without hesitation. The ship trembled violently as everything it had, every battery, every generator, every backup, fed into the containment rings. The golden sphere slowed. For a moment, hope returned, but then a new warning flashed on every screen. Core breach imminent. The Solaris shook like a dying star. Sparks burst from ceiling panels. Smoke filled the bridge, and every warning alarm screamed at once. The Helios core was seconds away from a breach powerful enough to wipe out every ship in the region, including their own. Captain Mira stood firm, but her crew could see the fear behind her calm eyes. She knew what a core breach meant. Everyone did. Containment rings at 20%, the engineer shouted. They won't hold. We need a manual override. Manual override meant one thing. Someone had entered the core chamber itself, a place filled with unstable energy strong enough to burn through armor. Everyone turned toward Mira. She shook her head. No, I need to command the ship. But her crew disagreed. Lieutenant Aaron stepped forward, his voice steady. Captain, you trained us for this. Let me go. Aaron, you won't survive 10 seconds in that chamber, Mira said softly. He smiled weakly. Then I'll make sure I fix it in 9. Before she could argue, he ran toward the lift, disappearing into the lower decks. Mira clenched her fists, her heart heavy. In the core chamber, Aaron pulled on the emergency suit, its lights flickering from the unstable power around him. He moved toward the glowing, shaking heart of the ship. Energy arcs cracked across the room like lightning. Containment override ready, he reported. Static filled the comms. Just say the word, Captain. Mira closed her eyes. Do it, Aaron. Aaron slammed the override lever down with all his strength. The ship roared. The golden sphere outside flickered slowed, stopped. Alien ships froze as the expanding wave dissolved into harmless light. For the first time since the battle began, the battlefield became silent. But on the Solaris, the silence was shattered by one final alarm. Core critical, collapse incoming. The Solaris fell into darkness. Every screen went black. The engines died. The ship drifted in silent space like a wounded giant. Only the deep hum of the unstable Helios core echoed to the metal walls. Captain Mira stood frozen. "Aaron, report," she said softly. Only static answered. Smoke filled the bridge. Officers tried to restart systems, but nothing responded. The core collapse countdown ticked down on emergency lights. 0:45 seconds. Earth Command watched in horror. Commander Ryland whispered, "Mira, you have to abandon ship." But Mira refused. "We don't run." Outside, alien ships also hesitated. They were terrified. They had never seen humans fight like this. And now, the galaxy's strongest secret weapon was about to explode. 0:30 seconds. Mira forced power into the comm system. "Engineering. Do we have any control?" "No, Captain," came a trembling reply. "But the core is stabilizing." Slowly, Aaron did enough to delay the collapse. "Delay?" Mira repeated. "Not stop, just delay." 0:20 seconds. She closed her eyes. If the core collapsed now, millions in nearby colonies would die. There was only one choice left. "Divert all remaining power to the external launch tubes," she ordered. Her officers looked shocked. "Captain, that will leave us completely powerless." "We're already powerless," Mira replied. "But we can still throw the core away." The bridge crew scrambled. Emergency conduits opened beneath the ship. The Solaris shook violently as the massive glowing Helios core slowly unlocked from its chamber. 0:10 seconds. "Prepare to eject," Mira whispered. The dreadnought groaned, then released the core into space. The glowing sphere drifted away. Seconds before it collapsed into a brilliant explosion of white and gold. The shock wave flashed across space. Harmless now. Silence followed. Then the galaxy understood something new. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not small. Humanity was unstoppable. And the Solaris, though wounded, still stood